Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching Healthy Alternative. Today, I want to talk about the benefits of Michael, and today we're going to be talking about.
Today we'll be making one of my favorite soups.
Welcome to the
tomato
JR72
soup.
challenge.
I am Animated Mel, and I am your mental and wellness coach for
As
Healthy
always,
Alternative.
perfection is not needed, but consistency.
We must first lovingly accept what is. You can't heal a body you hate.
We're going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive. I don't think anybody in my circle understands impossible. Howdy. How y'all feeling tonight? It was 27 degrees in Texas. Why is it 27 degrees in Texas? I don't know. I didn't move here for 27 degrees. So we got 27 degrees today. It got warmed up, got to 40. And then tonight it's going to get down to 29 degrees. And then there's supposed to be precipitation, which means we're supposed to get snow in Texas, which I don't understand. But I just wanted to vent for a second. Tonight we've got a very, very good call tonight, because we're going to be talking about something I very rarely talk about, and that is the power of intermittent fasting. And we'll probably be talking about intermittent fasting more frequently as time goes on. It is a very popular fasting technique. I have never really gotten into talking about it because I always focused on more potent fasting techniques. But in my wisdom, in my age and wisdom, I'm learning that a lot of people have difficulty with the traditional fasting methods that I teach. And so I think it'd be good to open the floor up to intermittent fasting and learning about the benefits of that. A lot of you all might feel like you got to do these long extended fasts in order to get the benefits of fasting. And that's not true. And so let's see if we can have a good expansive conversation on intermittent fasting. I've got 7 main points that I'm going to be talking about today. But before we get into the main topic, I do want to remind you all that this is the final day before the 21-day fasting challenge closes. So if you guys are interested in joining, you can still join, and then it'll be closing tomorrow. So I'm going to put the link for that in the chat for anybody who's interested in joining. For anybody who's unfamiliar, the 21-day fasting challenge is a challenge we host once or twice a year, where we take you guys through an entire fasting process, how to prep, how to do the fast itself, which is a water fast, and then how to refeed. It comes complete with core content that you guys can digest whenever you have time throughout the challenge. And then we also host several live streams throughout the challenge. We've been having a great time so far. A lot has been discussed. A lot has been learned. And we're looking to have a lot more fun. So if you guys want to join us, link for that is in the chat. Intermittent fasting is it's the most popular fasting method because it's probably the easiest to do. All intermittent fasting really means is that you're going to designate a period of time to fast each day. So you're not going to go more than 24 hours without eating. You create a window in which you can consume food. The most common window is a 16-hour fasting window. So most people are going to be teaching 16 hours of fasting. I have never been a fan of the 16-hour eating window. The reason why is because the fasting is kind of like compound interest. So the longer you fast consistently without breaking, the more benefit you get. With the 16-hour fast, it's just such a short fast that, yes, you get a lot of benefit, but if you do not couple it with the right dietary strategy, virtually your benefit will go right out the window because it's just such a short period of fast. If you fast for 18 hours or 20 hours, just push it a little bit more, you'll get that much more benefit from it. So I like to teach an 18-hour fast daily minimum. Okay. And if you guys adopt that ideology with your intermittent fasting, you will get far better outcomes and you will have much more leniency as it relates to not doing things absolutely perfect. Okay. With the 16-hour fast or a 12-hour fast, you really have to be tight on your dietary strategy to make that make sense. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is weight loss. What type of weight loss you're going to experience with intermittent fasting. I think with intermittent fasting, because there's you're still eating and there's quite a bit of there's a lot of variation depending on your lifestyle and you know the chemical balance in your body. It's hard to pin down exactly how much weight you're going to lose intermittent fasting. But what I will say is you can consistently lose, and this is going to be an average. You can consistently lose about half a pound a day on intermittent fasting, assuming that you're being good with your dietary strategy. Okay, so compared to, let's say, juice fasting, you're going to lose on average about a pound. Water fasting, you're going to lose about 2 pounds. So you don't lose as much weight. Once again, this is an average, y'all. This is an average. And also, I'll say this. Any averages I talk about become more true the longer you fast. So the more consistent you are, or the longer durations of fast, the averages become much more clear. If you start intermittent fasting your first day, yeah, you might lose a pound. You might lose 2 pounds. You might. I don't want you guys to be tricked by that. It's going to average out, okay, eventually. So it's still extremely good weight, right? Like a half a pound a day is far superior to any of the traditional weight loss methods. The thing too with intermittent fasting, okay, we believe that the calories in, calories out method holds some truth. There's a lot of people that still believe that. I've talked about how it's pretty much been debunked. Okay. Not pretty much. It has been debunked. But there's a lot of people that still believe in it. There's a lot of people that still talk about it. And even if you don't believe in it, or you're like, oh, well, you may be on the fence, this simplifies everything. When you're fasting, you don't really have to worry about counting calories. It's one of the benefits of fasting. As a matter of fact, this talk isn't about OMAD or 1 meal a day. But with OMAD, because of how powerful OMAD is, you could pretty much eat 1,500 calories in one sitting, and you'll still get the benefits of OMAD. So same thing with intermittent fasting. I'm not telling you to eat 1,500 calories in one sitting because it's not OMAD. But what I'm saying is you get more of that benefit where you don't have to worry about your calorie intake as much. If we want to extract as much benefit from the intermittent fasting method, though, we do want to have a dietary strategy, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. But as it relates to all of the fasting methods, intermittent fasting is the most seamless. It's the easiest to adopt. Now, when it comes to fasting in general, one of the benefits that you get is improved insulin sensitivity. Insulin resistance is one of the reasons why we pack on weight. Okay? If you are diabetic, there are a lot of reasons why people do not want to fast if they're diabetic. I personally think fasting is one of the best things you could do for yourself if you are a diabetic, but intermittent fasting makes it very easy. You don't have to think too heavy. One of the questions, as a matter of fact, one of the first questions we got in the challenge this year was about taking medication while fasting. Here's the problem. When you do traditional water fasting, you're going to fast for a day or more. You're not eating, which means that when you go to take your medication, you don't have any food on your stomach. And a lot of medications require food. So if you are taking medication, you're diabetic, blood pressure, or whatever, and you do not feel comfortable coming off the medication, or you don't have a physician who is going to work with you when it comes to your medication, intermittent fasting is a great choice because now you don't have to worry about that. You're still eating every single day. And before I forget, I want to clarify something. When it comes to creating your intermittent fasting schedule, one of the main rules that you have to have is you want to make sure that you are not snacking in between meals. So if you guys choose an 18-hour fasting window, that means you still have what, 6 hours to eat. So you could potentially just eat for 6 hours, right? And that would be problematic. So what you want to do is you want to limit your meal. You want to limit it to like 1 or 2 meals, okay? And if you 2 meals is fine. But then what you want to do is in between your meals, you don't snack. So for example, if your eating window starts at 12 noon, okay, so you would have lunch, for example. So you're going to eat lunch at 12, and then when you get home, you'll have dinner at 6. What you would not want to do is then have a snack because you've got the 6-hour eating window. You see what I'm saying? And so some people think, oh, I can snack. You do not want to snack. If you have anything in between your eating window, it should just be like some fresh juice or at the absolute most, a piece of fruit at the absolute most. Okay. I just noticed a question real quick. Not sure. Okay. My sugar goes low and I have to break the fat. Hold on. Let me bring this up. My sugar goes low and I have to break fast. This happens consistently. I was able to fast many days, and then recently I can never get past the 40 hours tops. And then you've got a follow up here. Not sure if it's because exercising while fasting. I seriously doubt that your exercise has anything to do with it. It's actually a normal thing for the sugar to drop during a fast. My question to you would be, are you on any medication? If you're on medication, that's probably the problem. Or if you ever were on medication to monitor your blood sugar, to suppress your blood sugar or whatever, that's probably what that is. But I guess intermittent fasting would be a great tool for you then. And it's a great tool for you. It's a great tool for people who want to exercise. You'll see a lot of people who are fitness trainers promoting intermittent fasting. You still get to eat. You can train hard. A lot of people don't realize you get better performance out of your body when you train on an empty stomach. But then for people who don't do prolonged fasting, they don't prep, they don't do the things we teach you, they get ravenously hungry a lot of times later on in the day. So it just works really well if you're doing those short fasts. So one of the benefits of intermittent fasting is that you can still exercise. All right. So hopefully that helps somebody. We get a lot of questions about fasting and exercise. Most of the time, I'm going to tell you guys to rest as much as possible because you don't want to be pushing your body when you're in a fasted state. But with intermittent fasting, the durations are so short, it's fine. You really have very little to worry about. Bonus, I'll also tell you one of the benefits of intermittent fasting is that when it comes to refeeding, when it comes to refeeding with intermittent fasting, I'm not going to say it's non-existent, but it virtually is non-existent. Most people don't have to worry about refeeding. Not like when I say refeeding, I mean we have a structured refeed plan that we teach. And when you're doing intermittent fasting, because the fasts are so short, you don't really have to do that because your body isn't in a fasted state long enough to really be impacted by poor refeeding habits. with that being said, you should still refeed in a healthy way. And if you're doing intermittent fasting as a daily practice, then you, to get the most benefit out of it, you want to be eating a certain way, which we'll talk about later. So, but that is a benefit. If you know that you come off a fast and you just don't do right, then this is kind of like it'll give you some grace. Now, this next point isn't talked about as much when it comes to intermittent fasting, but I wanted to bring it to light because it should not be overlooked, and that is the power of autophagy. When we talk about autophagy, we usually talk about longer fasts, because remember earlier I said when you fast for longer durations and you're consistent, it's like compound interest. Well, the same thing goes for autophagy. Now, autophagy just simply means self-eating. So it's basically the cells breaking themselves down and into parts that can be used by the body. If you have old damaged cells that are sluggish, cells that are toxic, you want to break those cells down and then reuse those resources for something healthy, something good, something that's going to benefit you. There's no benefit having damaged, sluggish, mutated cells. It's so autophagy is a great way to clean up the body. Autophagy is also the tool that we use. So with AHA, we teach fasting in a way where you have minimal to no loose skin. Autophagy is a key for that, okay, along with hydration. But autophagy will scoop up that dead protein and all that extra skin because it's not needed. When you think about it, if you lose 100 pounds, you have 30 pounds of loose skin. That's not helping you. It's not benefiting you at all, okay? It's just simply unsightly. So to be able to avoid that completely, that is one thing that sets a healthy alternative apart from a lot of other communities that teach fasting. But here's the thing, and this goes back to what I said earlier about how long you should do your fast for. With your 12-hour window of fasting, you get minimal benefit from autophagy. If you're doing 18 hours or more, then within the spectrum of intermittent fasting, you're really maxing out your benefit. So a lot of times people will ask me, because we talk about the fasting shrink week, right? The fasting shrink week is a period of time, it's literally a week where you will lose no weight, but your body shrinks and tightens. That is the key, is one of the huge keys to our success with people not having loose skin. So then the next question becomes, well, Chris, if I don't fast long enough to reach that pinnacle and get to the fasting shrink week, do I still get the benefits of that shrinking and tightening of the body? And the answer is yes. Earlier, I talked about the weight loss that you guys can kind of expect from intermittent fasting. Part of the reason why you don't lose as much weight with intermittent fasting as you do with longer fasts or other types of fast is because when the body starts doing that shrinking and tightening, your weight decreases. So since the weight loss is already on the lower end of the scale, you could see where you're going to have times where you're just not losing weight, even though you're intermittent fasting. And that's actually really important to understand because you might get discouraged. So here's the thing. If you guys are doing everything properly, you're consistent, you're doing your fasting, you're optimizing, we have to look at medication, we got to look at supplements, we got to look at, the types of food you're eating. But if you're doing all those things right, then you have to continue to trust the process, even though if you're not losing weight. And one thing that I would do to help you kind of understand what's happening to your body holistically, I'd say to get yourself a tape. Get yourself a little, measuring tape, one of the ones that they use when they alter the clothes and they measure your body, and take measurements of certain parts of your body so that when you're doing the fasting and you're not losing weight, you can test to see if you're losing inches. And that's typically the case. Okay. All right. Now, One of the things that draws people in when it comes to fasting is you get enhanced brain functionality. Enhanced brain functionality is kind of like an umbrella. We're talking more focus, better focus, clarity of mind, better memory. It also helps with mood. So if you deal with depression, or if you just have mood swings, things of that nature, it's going to help with that. Once again, with intermittent fasting, you're still going to reap these benefits. Here's the thing you just got to understand. Things don't progress as quickly as it does with other methods. The other key to intermittent fasting is you got to be consistent. Here's the thing. When you do a fast, you do a long fast, we all know that there is a what we call, I guess, water weight that will come off first. People will drop a lot of water very quickly. Now, me personally, I don't discount water weight. Water weight, like, people discount water weight as if it's nothing, it's inconsequential, or it doesn't matter. It's not. Water weight is important. It's important. That's inflammation. That's got to come off. That's good. That's a good thing. But we understand that because it's quote unquote water weight, I refer to it as inflammation, then it will also come back just as quick. So if you are intermittent fasting, once again, half a pound a day on average, and then you're not eating well, or you're doing whatever, you're taking something that's causing you to have inflammation, it'll feel like you're losing footing on your weight loss, and it can be very discouraging. So I would recommend that if you guys are going to utilize intermittent fasting, go into it with the mindset of lifestyle versus a quick fix. I always recommend that with all fasting methods, but even more so with intermittent fasting. You really got to think about, how can I embed intermittent fasting into my lifestyle and make it make sense? And then also, after you've been doing intermittent fasting for, let's say, 3 weeks or a month, if you have not done longer fasts, you will be ready to do some longer fasts. So one tool or tip you guys can keep underneath your belt if you need it is, let's say that you've been intermittent fasting successfully for a month, but then you have a trip that you go on, and during that trip you do not intermittent fast, right? And you see some of that regression that we talked about just minutes ago, where you put on some of that weight, you get a little inflammation, whatever the case may be. Then what I would just simply do is, instead of doing intermittent fasting when you get back from the trip or whatever, I would just start doing either OMAD, or I would be just doing short fast, maybe like 36 hours. Okay. So transitioning from intermittent fasting to a 36-hour fast after you've been doing it for a month is seamless. It'll be easy. You'll get a tremendous amount of benefit from it. You'll negate the negative impact that you have when you slip up or make mistakes or have cheat days or whatever the case may be. And then that'll keep your confidence high, and that'll keep you motivated. And that's a tool that you guys can use early on as you're still developing your lifestyle, just to make intermittent fasting more successful holistically. Intermittent fasting also has a huge benefit for your gut. One of the reasons why a lot of us have gut issues, outside of the fact that we don't eat real food, is that we don't give the body enough time to process the food that we consume. Okay. Here's the thing. I know that we have been taught that we're supposed to eat 3 to 6 times a day. It's just possible that that's a lie. Like, it's possible that they're just simply lying to us. Okay. There is no research. There's nothing out there to say that we have to eat 3 to 6 times a day. It's more marketing than anything else. Okay. It's not real science. So how is the body designed to function? Well, traditionally speaking, we would see that the body functions on a schedule of feast and famine, meaning, there's times where you eat, you enjoy, you have fun, you eat. And then there's times when you're just not eating. Okay. When we look at nature, you see it throughout nature as well. That's how we were designed. So, you guys, you don't have to worry about, going 36 hours or whatever the case may be without eating. It's completely healthy. It's extremely beneficial. And what it'll do is it'll give the gut an opportunity to digest. Like it'll give your body time to do the job it's supposed to do, because it's not designed to work 24/7. Like your gut, your digestive system is not designed to run 24/7. So just like any other piece of equipment, if you are running a piece of equipment 24/7 and it is not designed to do that, what do? You decrease the lifespan of that machine, right? I just recently upgraded my cloud at my house. I got all these videos, all this content. It's kind of like a treasure trove, and I want to make sure it's all backed up. So I got it backed up several places. So I updated my cloud. Okay. And clouds are just little hard drives. It's just a whole bunch of little hard drives, and they just hold all this space. Well, the hard drives that you buy for your cloud are different from the hard drives that you just might put in your regular computer. The regular computer hard drives are not designed to run 24/7. You know, it's very typical that with that computer and that you're going to turn it on, you're going to turn it off. It's going to be running, it's going to not be running. That it's just on and off. With the hard drives that you get for your cloud, they are designed to run 24/7. The problem is our gut and our digestive system is not designed to work 24/7. We have this thing called the circadian rhythm, and that rhythm dictates what the body at particular moments in time. And so when we are running our digestive system 24/7, it disrupts our circadian rhythm, and then we get a backlog of fecal matter, toxins, contaminants in the body, and of course that spirals our weight out of control. I just did a live the other day talking about, you know, fat, what the fat does, the job of the fat, and all that type of stuff. And so we see this self-perpetuating thing. All right. So you give yourself 18, 36 hours, whatever the case may be, to not eat. The body starts to deal with that backlog. Now, with these shorter fasts, it's going to take longer, right? If you have a crew of people that are going to demolition a building, and you have them on a work schedule where they're only working, 4 hours a day, it'll take longer to demo the building than if you had a team working around the clock, right? So it's the same thing with your body. Imagine that your cells and all the systems in your body, they run for periods of time, especially when you're fasting, okay? And then when you're eating, everybody kind of goes home and goes on break and goes to sleep and whatever, all right? Which is not true, obviously, but just for the analogy, when you're fasting, the body is working, it's dealing with the backlog. When you're eating, the body cannot work, it cannot deal with the backlog, okay? So that's basically what I'm talking about. Does castor oil packs help with avoiding loose skin? Yes, castor oil packs are incredible for aiding with loose skin. They also help to, if you want to spot target certain areas, you can use castor packs. I talked about this a couple of nights ago. Castor packs are more powerful than you probably, not you specifically, but then most people realize. Castor oil is a deep penetrating oil, and it has the ability to, okay, so we're talking about clogs in your digestive system. You could just basically think of it as like a slow draining sink, okay? Castor packs or castor oil is like Drano in a slow, like if I were to ask you, if your sink was draining slow, and I were to ask you, hey, why is your sink draining slow? You would be like, there's something in there, right? You might not know what the something is, but there's something in there slowing down your sink, right? Well, the castor oil doesn't care what is in there. It just breaks it up and moves it out. So it's a great tool. I mean, you can even use it for bone spurs. Like it's incredible. Now, here's what you got to understand about the castor pack. The older the problem that you're trying to solve with the castor pack, the longer it takes. So there's a level of consistency you guys have to have when you're using a castor pack or castor oil, and you have to be patient. You have to be patient. And I sometimes I hate saying trust the process, because it can be so toxic sometimes. But you have to do your research and understand how it works, so that you don't kind of get yourself all in a get your panties in a bunch because you're all worried it's not working. It's working. If you're using it, it's working. I know we're the microwave generation. We like to see things work right now, but I'm gonna put the link for our caster packs. I started selling caster packs because, I started using caster packs. I had the coaches using caster packs, and we saw such incredible benefit from using them. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in the store. This is a great tool. I want to promote this tool, and it's inexpensive, right? It's something that you use over the course of like 3 months. You get a lot of benefit from it. It's indispensable. All right. What's another benefit of intermittent fasting? Well, you get boosts of energy and physical performance. So earlier we were talking about how the gym enthusiasts love intermittent fasting. Why? Because it helps them perform better. So we also talked about, if you want to be able to go to the gym and you want to incorporate a fasting method, intermittent fasting is your boy. Like, this is the way you want to do it. You have so much leeway with intermittent fasting. If you're one of those worry warts, like if you've been sitting on the fence about fasting, you're not sure, should I fast? Is it beneficial? What's going to happen to me? Fast intermittently. Even the high risk groups, which would be children, pregnant women, elderly, those types of things, you're still good with intermittent fasting. Now, most people are going to tell you just don't fast, right? Trust your doctor. And I'm going to tell you guys, for the YouTube algorithm, listen, YouTube algorithm, this is for educational purposes only. I repeat, I am not telling children and pregnant women to fast, okay? All I'm saying is, if you were going to do it for educational purposes only, intermittent fasting would be a great tool, because you're still eating every day. If you are worried about the baby getting nutrition, you don't got to worry, because guess what? You're eating every day. If you're worried about the development of a young child, you don't got to worry, because guess what? You're eating every day. It's not the same as regular fasting, okay? You're just tweaking the frequency of your eating to get benefit. But when it comes to, somebody who's going to be exercising, maybe athletes, things of that nature, see, I wouldn't have a professional athlete do prolonged fasts. I wouldn't have them doing 21-day fasts unless they were sick or injured. I would have them doing intermittent fasts. And then what I would do is I would slowly work them up to a 3-day fast. Okay. But we would start with intermittent fasting. It's a credible tool. You get the benefits of the balancing of hormones. Okay. So a lot of our mood swings, and even when it comes to like our hunger and our the ravenous hunger and all that stuff, or cravings and stuff, it's hormones, it's chemicals, right, that are out of balance in the body. Intermittent fasting is a great tool to slowly begin rectifying those problems. And then if you couple your intermittent fasting with some intention on habits and lifestyle, then you can transition yourself from the standard American diet to some other diet maybe that you're interested in much more seamlessly, using something like intermittent fasting. Because when your cravings go down, your desire for food goes down, your desire for bad food goes down, you start playing with healthy options, you start craving those healthy options, it makes leaving standard diets easy. Like, leaving a standard diet does not have to be hard, and intermittent fasting is a great tool for transitioning your diet. So even if you weren't doing this for weight loss, if you want to eat healthier, you want clearer skin, you want better hair, whatever, you want to be able to get better nutrients from your food, you want to transition your diet, this is a great way to do it. And it's basically seamless. You don't got to worry about people asking you, what are you doing? You don't got to worry about people saying you're going to hurt yourself or kill yourself. No one even has to know. When you fast intermittently, you're still eating every day. No one's going to question that. So it's just a great tool for people who want to fly under the radar. I'd be curious to know if there's anybody in the chat that's actually used fasting, specifically like intermittent fasting. What has your experience been, either at the gym or just in general, moving, getting around. One of the things that I noticed when I very first started fasting was I wasn't sleepy at lunchtime anymore. Like I used to work in construction, I would wake up fairly early, let's say, 6 o'clock or whatever. But by lunchtime, noon, I was ready to go to sleep. Like I could go to bed. That's not normal. Okay. When I started fasting, it went away. My energy came back. And with that energy came my cognitive function. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like I loved being an electrician, but I would make mistakes because I was tired. And I'd have to go back and redo, stuff, stupid mistakes. And that I would waste a lot of time, which, I got paid by the hour. It is what it is. It's construction. If you guys ever did construction, you know what it is. But for my own personal benefit, I didn't like that. I didn't like being so inefficient. I wanted to be able to work very quickly and then rest if I want to. Like if I'm doing a job and it's supposed to take me 2 hours and I can get it done in an hour 20, that means that's, what's that, 40 minutes that I could just chill, right? Or be on my phone or go to the bathroom or whatever else. Because when you're in construction, you find ways to waste time. But anyway, intermittent fasting is also great for supporting longevity and disease prevention. Okay. One of the first things that I wanted to do when I started learning about health and wellness, one of the first things that I decided that I wanted from this journey was longevity. Okay. If you guys listen to some of my earlier content, that's when I would talk about it a lot more. It hasn't changed. I just don't talk about it as much. But increasing my lifespan was very important to me for a couple of reasons. I have a desire to build a community outside of like AHA. I want to build a community in real life, and there's a lot of things that I want to do and get done. And I want to see change happen in our community and in our families. And I feel like living for 80 years is not long enough to accomplish that goal and really enjoy the benefit of it. And a lot of times we can just say, okay, well, we'll start the goal, and then our legacy will finish it. I'm not leaving nothing up to anybody else. I want to do it myself, and then I also want to be able to see the benefit, the fruits of my labor. Okay, I think that's just right. So how do we do that? I got to increase my lifespan. I need more time. I need more time here on the earth. Just by intermittent fasting, I don't remember the exact number, so I don't want to lie to y'all. But just by practicing intermittent fasting, right? Like from now until the day you pass, you can increase your lifespan exponentially. You have to do the long fast to increase your lifespan. So at the same rate that being obese increases our risk of mortality, you might take 7 years off of your life by practicing intermittent fasting as a lifestyle, which is what I told you guys at the beginning. That's how you need to look at it. Then you're going to increase your lifespan by 7 years, for example. Okay. There's studies that talk about it. They usually use worms and different creatures with shorter lifespans so that we can see how much the benefit is. But it's significant. It is significant. You can increase your lifespan significantly with intermittent fasting. Okay. Disease prevention. Well, what does that do? That increases quality of life. You don't want to be 100 years old and be sick. Okay. Right. Or have to have a nurse take care of you or your family. You can't move around. You can't drive. So the other key to longevity for me was quality of life. I want to live long with a high quality of life. Think about this. Most people in America work their entire life. They, might retire at like 65 or something, 67. I don't know what it is now. They keep changing the retirement age. So you retire and then you die at 72, y'all. Like this is not cool. You work all your life, and then when you're supposed to be able to enjoy your life, you don't even get that because you die so soon. So we have to look at the big picture. I'm not interested in any of that. And if you guys want longevity coupled with disease prevention, intermittent fasting is great for that. Fasting does it too, obviously. But a lot of us don't look at fasting as, oh, I'm going to do these long fasts for the rest of my life. But with intermittent fasting, this is something you could do daily. Okay. I practice intermittent fasting or OMAD every day. every day. It's lifestyle, okay? And it's nothing to me. It's what I want. So if you're on a traditional schedule now, you might think, Chris, that feels so restrictive. Yeah, at first you might feel that way, but trust me, as you do it and your body adapts and you see the benefits of it, you'll actually start to want it. So it's only for a small period of time that you'll feel like, this is kind of like hard to do. All right. Okay. So we're going to talk about what do you need? How do you need? What foods do you need to couple with intermittent fasting to get the most juice for your squeeze? Okay. If you guys are eating processed foods, refined sugars, you're going to have a very hard time seeing progress with intermittent fasting. I'm just telling you now. Even if you're doing the 18-hour fast, you're going to have problems. The reason why is not because the fasting won't still work. What happens is we have to consider our mental state when we fast as well. If you are working against yourself with toxic foods and poor dietary strategy, you're going to work against yourself mentally, because then when you have days when you're not losing, you don't feel like you're seeing benefit, or you gain a pound, it makes you less motivated. You're going to be less likely to want to continue because you're going to think to yourself, it doesn't work anyway. Why am I doing this? I should just eat whenever I want. The reality is it is actually working for you, because you would be in a worse position if you weren't doing the intermittent fasting with those poor eating habits. But once again, I'm just telling you from experience working with so many people and even my own personal experience, it's better to practice good dietary strategy, get the most juice for your squeeze. You'll get results quicker, and it'll keep you motivated and keep you moving forward. So with that being said, what I recommend is eliminating as much processed food and refined sugars as humanly possible. You don't have to do it all overnight. This can be a progressive strategy. But when you start, once again, we're looking at this as a lifestyle. When you start altering lifestyle things. So for example, I stopped drinking soda. Now, I started that practice when I was probably like 16, 17 years old. I stopped drinking soda. The only time I would have soda after that is if I had it in a drink, like a alcoholic beverage, right? Like a whiskey and Coke. That was my thing. And after a while, I knew Coke was bad. I knew it was bad. I saw people cleaning their car with Coke, and I still got myself a whiskey and Coke. Okay. But here's the thing. The body is designed to detox. So if you don't drink whiskey and Coke every day, yeah, it's not good for you, but the body is designed to repair damage. You just need to put enough time in between bad habits to give the body a chance to repair itself so that you're not progressively getting worse. Okay. And this allows you guys a lot of leeway on your dietary strategy, but it starts with saying, okay, I understand that these things are not good for me, so I need to start making changes. So your refined sugars and your processed foods, I can never make a case for any benefit for using these. One of the easiest ways to start making this shift is to start making things from scratch at home. It saves you a lot of time, not time. It saves you a lot of work. Well, it actually does save you time, because if you are a label reader, you know how hard it is to read the labels, how time consuming it is. Then you got to research what things are, how does it impact the body. When you make something from scratch, you don't got to worry about that. All the ingredients, you know what the ingredients are, you put it in there yourself. So it does save you time. Now, you're going to take you longer to cook it, but one thing that I've noticed is, like with anything, with time and practice, you get better. So for me, I just simply created a goal. I said, okay, I don't want to be in the kitchen longer than 30 minutes. How can I eat this way and also not be in the kitchen for an hour every night? Because when I very first started, I was in the kitchen for an hour every night. Well, I learned that naturally. I'm reading new recipes. I don't know them by heart. I'm how much of this, how much of that takes time. So literally just by learning the recipes for things, like learning how to make it from scratch, you're going to speed up your time. There's also things you could do to prep certain foods. Like, okay, so for example, pico de gallo. Okay, pico de gallo is a beautiful blend of different fruits and vegetables that make this amazing little salsa. Well, if you know that you like to put pico de gallo in multiple different meals, just go ahead and make a big batch of it. Now you've got it on deck, right? It's waiting. So yeah, you spend the time making it in that moment, but you make a huge batch. And then when you go to make your more complicated meals, the pico de gallo is already there. You don't got to worry about cutting up the bell peppers and the jalapenos and the onions or whatever. It's already made. You guys get what I'm saying? You can also do this with, like, let's say if you want to do a homemade bread. So one of the things that I got away from is processed bread. I still will eat it, but not even close to what it was before. Like when I went to the grocery store, bread was on the list, right? So I basically stopped buying bread. And when I do buy bread now, I've sourced some really good bread options so that, you know, I can kind of save myself a little time making bread from scratch. But in the early days, I just simply made it from scratch. And what I would do is I would put all the ingredients, it would be a bread mix. I would pre-mix all the ingredients in this container. And then all I needed to do was just add water and basically, cook it. I would cook it on my cast iron. Okay. These are very simple things you guys can do because a lot of people talk about, I don't have time. I don't have this, that. Where there is a will, there is a way. You don't have time because you're not making time. And like with anything, how long did it take you to tie your shoes the first time you did it? The very first time you're in preschool or whatever, kindergarten, you're on your way to school, the bus is down the street, you know it's coming, you're on the way out the door, your mom says, tie your shoe, right? Your shoes, and you're just fiddling around, you cannot get this thing tied. And now as an adult, you tie your shoe and you don't even remember tying your shoe. It's just muscle memory, just boop, 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 do it. You don't even count that as time, right? The first time I ever tried to put contacts in my eye, it took me an hour to get the contacts out of my eye because I just wasn't used to it. It was so playing with your eyeball is weird the first time. Then after using contacts for, a couple weeks or whatever, a month, they're in and out in seconds. No problem. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So I don't know why we don't apply that same logic to cooking healthy and lifestyle and everything else. But y'all, as you do it more, you get better. Okay. So don't look at any of this as this big daunting task that you got to do. You got to eat different. You got to change everything right now. You don't got to do none of that right now. All you need to do is take a baby step every day. Every day you just need to take a baby step. And as you start to develop, you know, like just like a baby, you go from crawling to baby steps to walking to running. Okay. It's literally the same thing. Now, I do recommend, outside of the processed foods and refined sugars, I do recommend that you guys lean heavy on a plant-based diet. Plants are full of structured water. So when you eat them, they digest quickly and very easily. And so that's going to help you a lot if you're doing these shorter intermittent fasts. You can still have meat. I would just say reduce portion size. Don't eat as much meat. And then also, y'all, very important key, eat raw before you eat cooked. Okay. Eat your raw food first before you eat your cooked food. The raw food will digest very quickly. I believe this is part of the reason why there are courses at a dinner table. You go to a dinner, you have courses. The food is given to you in a particular order for digestion. We don't probably see it that way nowadays, but originally, why did they have the courses? It was designed to give you an ultimate eating experience. And that eating experience is developed through the courses. And that eating experience includes healthy digestion. Okay. So these are just like some smooth tips that you guys could use to make your intermittent fasting a success. If you guys utilize the intermittent fasting the way I talked about, along with the dietary strategy we just discussed, just that simple outline, then over the course of 30 days, you're going to see a significant improvement in your weight, okay? Or your health, or your attitude, or your whatever. 30 days, you're going to see it. And then that way, it's like, okay, I can keep doing this. And then after you do it for a couple of months, it's just normal. It's just what you do. And here's the best part about it. If you guys give yourself 6 weeks to 2 months to do this and be consistent, when you do the wrong thing, your body will tell you, your mind will tell you, you'll feel like you're doing the wrong thing, and you'll self-correct. It'll be easier to stay on the course because you're getting feedback that's helping you drive. It's kind of like, when you're 7 and you're playing bumper bowling. Not only do they give you the little ramp to roll your ball down because you're not strong enough to push it down, but then they inflate the gutter so that you can't even get a gutter ball. That's essentially what intermittent fasting looks like if you do it correctly. Most people do not do intermittent fasting like this. So if you guys do this, you'll get amazing outcomes from intermittent fasting. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation today. I do want to let you know we have the cookbook available. Okay, you guys have been asking me for over 2 years for this cookbook. It is finally available, and I want to give you guys the opportunity to grab it. It is currently on pre-sale. So we are looking to ship the beginning of February. So if you guys purchase it, just know it's on pre-sale. But obviously, everybody who orders pre-sale, you'll be the first ones to receive it. It is a beautiful, beautiful cookbook. We spared no expense. It's just what I do when I create products. I want you guys to have an incredible experience. Why am I fuzzy? I want you guys to have an incredible experience. So it's 31 well-crafted recipes, everything from juice, soda. Remember I told you I don't drink soda anymore? Well, technically I do because I make it from scratch at home and it's not harmful. So I can still enjoy the things I love. But we're talking juices, sodas, ice cream, cookies. You got all your desserts and stuff like that. Then you got breakfast stuff, and you've got some entrees that you may have never even considered making before. So if you guys are looking to couple your intermittent fasting schedule with proper dietary strategy, this cookbook is perfect. It's literally a transitional cookbook. So if you guys are on a traditional diet right now, this cookbook is designed to help give you that traditional feel when it comes to like comfort food and things of that nature, but it's healthy and it'll help you progress your weight loss and disease reversal and all the things you're looking to accomplish. Hit the like button for me, y'all, if you guys enjoyed this content today. I'm gonna take a quick look at these comments to make sure there's nothing I definitely need to do, but tonight was fun. Yeah, try. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Look at this. I'm 42, got on antidepressants, and gained 90 pounds in 6 months. This is the reason why we got to pay attention to our medication and how it's impacting us. Listen, y'all, there is no medication. Listen to me. There is not one pharmaceutical drug that you will take without any side effects. They all have side effects. And sometimes the side effects are worse than the thing they're treating. I lost most of it with fasting. I don't have loose skin. There you go. It's a great testimonial. If you guys are fighting to lose 100 pounds, you need to join our 21-day challenge. Okay, today is the last day for, well, tomorrow you can still sign up tomorrow, but tomorrow it closes. But you guys can sign up. You can sign up today. You could join the challenge. It'll give you structurally everything you need to know to lose 100 pounds. And then look, here's the beauty of it. You can do, like, if you guys want to lose a lot of weight real quick, you could do the longer fast up front, and then you could take the information from this call today and you could start developing and tweaking lifestyle. This is also going to help you manage your weight loss and maintain it, meaning you're not going to have to worry about like gaining weight back. So I highly recommend, I saw a lot of comments there. If you guys are looking to lose that much weight, jump in our 21-day fasting challenge, get the fundamental information, and then from there, you guys can start playing around with your own methodology and, doing what makes sense for you. So the link is going to be in the chat for that. And also, if you guys are watching the replay, I'll have the link for the cookbook as well as the 21-day challenge in the description box and in the comment section. I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. I'll probably be going live again later on. Let me see, what's today? Wednesday, maybe Friday or something like that. If you guys, if you want to make sure to catch my live streams, hit the notification bell. Okay, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified. I have made a commitment to myself to live stream more regularly, and I think it's working out well. Are you guys enjoying the live streams lately? If you haven't noticed, I've got like 8 or 10 of them over the past couple of weeks. So you guys could go and check those out on A Healthy Alternative, the channel. Just go to the videos and go to the live stream. They're all like this. They're all amazing. So I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your week. Stay warm. If it's going to snow or if it's already snowed where you at, it's about to snow in Texas. I don't understand what's going on. I did not move here for that. But as always, listen to me, y'all. The application of knowledge is power. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.